Uh, Hi, I'm Lucy. I need to ask you a few more questions about the election of this year. Are you going to vote this year?
Yes.
Why?
I think voting is an important responsibility that everyone has, and if you're able to vote and are old enough to do it, it's kind of like a responsibility to make sure that the country falls into the right hands.
Alright. And second question is, where do you find the information to decide who to vote?
I do a lot of my own research, so I've been going to different websites and looking up both candidates, but I try to avoid listening to the commercials because it's just mostly mudslinging.
Alright. And do you know who are the candidates of the governor this year?
Yes.
Can't.
John Hickenlooper, and I know the other guy's name, but I just can't think of it right now.
Okay, who do you vote for?
I'm gonna vote for John Hickenlooper.
Why?
I think despite some of the instances where he had some lacking, I think he's doing a pretty good job, and I think he has the right plan for Colorado.
Alright. And who are the candidates of the senator, do you know?
Mark Udall and Ford Gardner.
Who do you vote and why?
Mark Udall.
And
Because I don't really agree with Cory Gardner's politics, especially regarding women's rights, and I feel like he doesn't have the right idea for the environment.
Okay. And do you know who are the U.S. representatives for your district?
Off the top of my head, no.
Alright. And next question. It has one of the amendments on the says will determine whether unborn children are persons. If they are, this potentially might restrict or even prohibit abortion. What's your opinion about this?
I feel like it shouldn't be up to anyone else to decide how a woman is able to control her own body. And I think that it doesn't take into consideration all the other facts that can contribute to someone choosing an abortion, so I don't think it needs to be even discussed by other politicians. It's a personal choice.
Okay. And the last question, another amendment would require the GMO foods label. How do you think about it?
I think it has some benefits to it, but I think overall I'm on the fence. I don't have enough information to make an informed decision yet, so I'm gonna still deny.
I am gonna ask you a few more questions about the election this year. Are you going to vote this year?
I already have voted.
Oh, nice. And where did you find the information to decide which one to vote?
I voted more towards the Democratic side.
Okay, cool. And do you know who are the candidates of the governor?
For the Republicans?
Uh-huh.
Cory Gardner, Bob Beaupre, and...
Okay, how about the senators, the candidates of the senators?
No.
Okay. How about U.S. representatives? Okay, cool. And one question is about one of the amendments on the ballot will determine whether unborn children are persons. If they are, this potentially might restrict or even prohibit abortion. What's your opinion about this?
I voted against the amendment, so I didn't think it was a good idea.
Why?
Because as a guy, it's not really my place to say what's appropriate for women to do in that respect.
All right. And the last question, another amendment is about the GMO food labeling. How do you think about that?
I think it's a good idea. I don't know if it was properly implemented with this amendment, but it's definitely something that needs to be done.
Hi, I'm going to ask you a few more questions about the election this year. Are you going to vote this year?
Yes.
Why?
I already have.
Oh, nice. And where did you find the information to decide to vote for who?
Who I was choosing?
Uh-huh.
Some of it came to me in the mail.
Okay.
Others of it I heard on television, and some of it I read in the newspaper.
Okay. And do you know who are the candidates of the governor?
Yes.
Who did you vote and why?
I voted for Democrat, and mainly because I want to support underprivileged people,
Okay.
those who don't have as much, and I thought the Democratic governor might lean more towards that. They have in the past, just
Okay.
typically.
And do you know who are the candidates of the senators this year?
Again, I can't think of their names per se, but I pretty much voted down a party line.
Okay. And one of the amendments on the ballot says, well, it will determine whether onboard children are persons. If they are, this potentially might restrict or even prohibit abortion. What's your opinion about this one?
I voted on that one, choosing to give the woman as much freedom as I could.
Okay. And last question. Another amendment is about the GMO food labeling. How do you think about that one?
That one I actually feel pretty strongly about. It's interesting because I live up north and I am a beekeeper, and so I know that GMOs may be linked to some of the issues we've been having with the decline in bees. So I voted for stricter labeling.
Okay, Kira, now you're going to vote this year?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm registered and I feel like I'm supposed to.
All right. And where did you get the information to decide who to vote?
I don't know, the little blue book that they hand out for elections. Also, I don't want to get information from ads, but like it's definitely come to me. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And do you know who are the candidates for the governor this year?
Well, now I do. I didn't before, but it's Bob Beaupre and John Hickenlooper.
Who are you gonna vote and why?
Probably Hickenlooper. I haven't thought about it that much yet because I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about the candidates of senators? Do you know who are gonna vote? Like,
Who they are and who I vote for?
yeah.
Udall and Cory Gardner. And I
mhm.
think I'll probably vote for Gardner, actually.
Why?
You know, I really don't like Mark Udall's campaign. I think it's like sleazy. And I don't want to vote for him. It's kind of just a
Okay.
rebellious thing.
And how about U.S. representatives?
Yeah, I read it. I know who Diana DeGette is. I don't even know who the other person is. So.
Okay. And actually, it has like one of the amendments on the ballot where will determine whether unborn children are persons. If they are, this potentially might restrict or even prohibit abortion. What's your opinion about this one?
Yeah, no, so that's 67, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will probably vote for it. I'm not pro-choice. I'm not pro-abortion. I doubt that it'll pass, though. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And the last one, the last question. Another amendment would like require food, like the
Oh, like the NGO labeling?
Yeah.
Or not NGO, the GMO
yeah,
labeling.
the GMO labelings.
Yeah.
How do you think about it?
Yeah, I'll probably vote for GMO labeling. Yes, on that as well.
Why?
I feel like nothing bad can come from like knowing what's in your food. So.
Okay. Hi, I'm going to ask you some questions about election this year. Are you going to vote?
Yes.
Why?
Just because I feel like it's important to vote, just based on what I've heard regarding each different candidate, and I think it's important to make sure you get your opinion out there and to make a difference in the world, at least in Colorado. So.
Okay. And where did you get the information to decide who to vote?
Well, mainly from TV ads, and also I get lots of flyers in the mail, and just research online, just seeing what each candidate has to offer and what they're really about, you know, just regarding attack ads or, you know, good ads, all that stuff.
Okay, cool. And do you know who are the candidates of the governor this year?
I think that's, I could be wrong. I'm thinking it's Mark Udall,
Oh, those are the
the Secretary of State.
the senators.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know who all the candidates are.
It's fine, it's fine. Like, oh, so who are you gonna vote? Like, which side are you gonna pick? Democratic or the Republicans?
towards Democratic side.
Alright. Okay, cool. And it has like one of the amendments on the ballot will determine whether unborn children are persons. If they are, this potentially might restrict or even prohibit abortion. What's your opinion about this?
I feel like even if the child is unborn, that they are still people because scientifically, no matter what stage a fetus is in, it's still going to be a human. So I wouldn't have an abortion, but I don't judge people who do because everyone has different situations in life, and sometimes that's the best decision for someone else. I personally wouldn't. In regards of to making it illegal, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. It's kind of a tough one to answer.
All right. And the last one, another amendment would require the GMO food labeling. How do you think about that one?
I think that's important because it's really important to know what's in our food. There's so many different types of chemicals or different types of compounds or elements that are added into food that could potentially harm us or affect us, whether it's our DNA and just how our body, it can really affect the inner workings of our body and how we are able to fend off diseases or illnesses or, and I think it's just exposing us to a lot of risks. So I think it's important to have the most pure food possible that we ingest.